welcome back to the space between. Today we're going to be exploring some Hatha Yoga and we're going to be focusing on Muladhara Chakra, aka the Root Chakra. The colour of this chakra is, you guessed it, red. So if you want to have a red t-shirt on, or some lipstick, or a little cheeky bandana, or some yoga pants, anything like that, then you can kind of express yourself a little bit with some red clothing as well. Yeah, so when you're ready, come and get started. You may want to have, obviously, your yoga mat. You may want to have a little blanket for shavasana at the end, maybe a cushion if you need one. And also, if you do have a strap of some kind, I recommend that for one of the postures today as well. Yeah, if you like this video, feel free to hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to click that bell so you get notifications for when my next video is coming up, and also subscribe, please. Thank you very much, guys, and enjoy the practice today. Thank you. Namaste and welcome to today's class. We're going to begin in Hatha, which is a forward fold. So we're going to just bring some awareness to the feet first of all. Just rocking back and forth on the feet until you get a nice even weight distribution. And you're going to lift the toes and spread them and then place them down on the mat. You might want to take a few minutes here as well. Straighten the spine, engage the pelvic floor, just gently tucking the tailbone under just slightly. Rolling the shoulder blades back and down, chin is parallel to the ground. Maybe spreading the hands a little bit, nothing too rigid, being quite gentle, just activating the arms. And just closing the eyes. I want to just lift up the toes and then maybe putting them down one toe by one toe. Maybe doing this a few more times. If you can, I highly recommend being out in the elements for today's practice, because the element of Muladhara Chakra is earth, so it's really nice to do outside. Perhaps on the grass, feeling the grass between your toes, maybe even in the earth itself. Or maybe even on a beach if you're lucky enough. I don't live near the sea, but I definitely find this really energizing on the beach. So, okay. I'm going to bring the hands to the hips. We're going to bend from the hips. Okay, so we are obviously doing this first of all. I will leave a link in the description box below for some sun salutations with a root chakra focus. So if you wanted to do those beforehand, some of you, especially if you're quite new and you find this quite stiff in the legs, you might want to do a little bit more of a warm-up. And of course, you can use a chair. You could use some blocks if you had them, or a book or a stool, if you need to use that to keep a straight back in this posture, okay? Even if you're perhaps on the fingertips a little bit, just being mindful of the wrists here. Okay, so we're placing the hands on the ground. Our fingers and our toes are nice and spread. Maybe just gently sucking the belly button towards the back of the spine, hollowing out here a little bit. And perhaps just closing the eyes. And taking some nice deep belly breaths. In through the nose and out through the nose. Remember to try and keep that spine straight if we can. So, on the gross physical body, Muladhara Chakra is in the area of the perineum. And the colour of it is red. So you could even imagine a red sphere, if you like. The element is earth. I'm just trying to focus on the colour red. Focusing on the breath here. If you need to keep a slight micro bend in the knees, and you can, try and avoid locking the knees in this posture. And I really do encourage you to close your eyes. If you like, you can imagine telluric energy or earth energy coming up through the feet, up the legs, washing down the spine, all the way down out the arms, out of the hands. So you've got this lovely circuit. And it is a Hatha practice today, so we are holding these postures for anything really between 30 seconds to nearer 5 minutes. So if you do find you struggle with this, you can always come out of the posture just gently standing up or lying down in shavasana, and just take a few moments and just allow the posture to have its effect, and just kind of look out for any new sensations, maybe feelings that arise, and just remembering our work on Ajna Chakra. If you haven't already, I highly recommend watching the Ajna Chakra videos for this series, because it just really helps you to be mindful of the other chakras and just be aware of anything that comes up, but trying not to kind of float away with the mind. I think the quote was, what was the quote that I used? It was perceive the fluctuations of the mind, don't become them. Something like this. Which I feel sums it up nicely. Close on the eyes, colour is red. Muladhara Chakra, the area of the perineum. Telluric energy coming up through the feet. Circling the body, washing out through the hands. This is a really energizing posture, especially if you're doing it outside. It's wonderful. I really do recommend it if you can. It's a little cool today here in England. If you happen to be watching this from somewhere else, well, or even in England, comment down below. Let me know where you are. I'd love to, I'd love to see where you guys are from. Okay, and then when you're ready, maybe trying to keep the eyes closed, you can bend the knees slightly and just roll up vertebra by vertebra. Try to keep nice and still. Noticing anything going on in the mind, anything going on in the body. Maybe you're feeling a little bit energized. Maybe just gently, I'm trying to find the words, maybe just zened out, sorry guys. Maybe just gently wiggling the fingertips a little bit here. That feels good. So bring the hands to the side of the body now. Just closing the eyes, really focusing on the soles of the feet. And if you like, maybe even imagining roots growing down from the soles of the feet. We're really working on our roots, our grounding, our foundation. If you're anything like me, guys, and you suffer from anxiety, I cannot stress enough how useful doing work on Muladhara Chakra is for that, because it really grounds you. If you're quite flighty, or even if you had, I used to consume so much sugar, and that would make me feel so flighty as well. So even if you've had quite a bit of sugar, maybe you were quite tired today, so you kind of had some caffeine and some sugar, and if you find that you just end up feeling very sort of flighty, I really recommend doing some grounding exercises, and there will be more throughout these videos, because it's something that I've found really does help with my anxiety, and any knowledge that I find with that, I'd love to kind of pass on to you guys, because it's just, yeah, it's been really beneficial for me. Alright, so just really working on grounding those feet. Maybe trickling roots out from the base of the feet. Nice and strong in the body, like the trunk of a tree. And we're going to bring the arms up. Now I know you probably won't be able to see, it might come out of focus a little bit here, but basically my arms are just up in the air, okay? They're not together, my hands are far apart. I'll just squat down a little bit, like so. You can stay standing. And my hands aren't touching, and do try not to touch the hands together, okay? So have the hands nice and spread. Fingers should be nice and energetically spread. Closing the eyes. And if you want to, you can focus on cosmic energy. I know that sounds a bit like, yeah, cosmic man. Try and get the energy from the sky, in layman's terms, I suppose. And just kind of washing down, perhaps washing down the left hand because that's our yin side, our receptive side, our feminine lunar side. So washing down the left hand and then into the body, and then washing up through the right hand. And also we're going to be contracting, I think it's called Ashvini mudra, Bandha, Mula Bandha, Ashvini mudra. I think it's Ashvini mudra. I always forget what this is called, guys. I will have a little Google hunt after this. I haven't done this posture in a really long time, and I really do enjoy it. So I feel like I want to bring it back a bit more. So it's nice doing this tapas with you guys, because it just kind of makes me remember some of the things I really love doing and experimenting with in the past, and how I've forgotten about them. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is, and this is it's going to sound a little bit weird, I'm not going to lie, so we're just going to go with it. Embrace the weird, guys. We're basically going to contract the muscles of the anus, because it's really close to, on the physical body, it's really close to where our Muladhara Chakra is, okay? And by doing this, we're not just doing this for fun, we're doing this because as the energy is coming down the left hand, down the left arm, it's going to go into the body, and then because we don't want to lose the energy and have it continue down the feet, back into telluric energy, back into the earth, we want to keep it in our bodies, okay? And this way we're energizing our bodies, basically. So we want to have the energy come down the left arm, contract the muscles of the anus, thinking the color red, Muladhara Chakra, and then allow the energy to wash up the right arm. And if you can't feel this, guys, I feel like, what is she banging on about with all this cosmic telluric energy malarkey? Do not worry about it, okay? It's more if, like, maybe you've been doing this for a little while, maybe you have this in your own practice, or maybe you have a yoga teacher that's practiced it with you. Totally cool. If not, just contract your muscles of the anus and just feel, hopefully, a little bit of energy, and you'll see what I mean afterwards. I'm going to shut up now. And try and keep the arms up. If you lower the arms, guys, do not touch the hands together, okay? If you lower the arms, that's fine, but try not to touch the hands. You'll see why in a minute. If this gets tough, focusing on the breath. Maybe you're setting yourself an intention, maybe an affirmation. I am safe, I am stable. Muladhara Chakra, Root Chakra. Color is red, Ashvini mudra. I will check the name of that. Okay, keeping the eyes closed, release the hands down slowly without touching. Okay. And then what I'd like you to do is bring the hands together but don't touch them, and see if you can feel a little bit of energy between the hands. I love doing this one outside. It's harder if it's a windy day. I've tried it on a windy day before at the beach, and I couldn't really feel the energy afterwards. But it's almost like when my hands are coming together, I feel almost like a magnet in between the hands. It's really weird. Maybe you feel it. If you do, I'd love to know in the comments. I got taught this in a yoga class once, and it was really cool. And the longer you hold them up, the stronger it gets. This is why I say try and hold them up. And we're even trying for 5 minutes. I know your arms kind of want to stop, but it's a really good way to kind of practice austerity in the pose and not get too sucked away with the mind. So yeah, maybe you want to rotate the wrists out a little bit and allow the hands to just drop to the side. Yeah, I'd love to know, guys. I don't know if you get anything from that. I do, and I've been in a class with other people that have, and yeah, let me know. Let me know in the comments. All right. Okay. Oh, good. Have a little wiggle out if you need to. All right then. I think what do I want to do next? Yeah, I know. All right. I think this time I want to do a wide-legged fold. So we're gonna jump out to the side, open up the feet. You might want to have your toes pointing in a little bit if that feels good. I'm going to bring the hands to the hips, roll the shoulder blades back and down, straighten that spine, and almost like I'm going first with my chest. So my chest is almost like it's leading, my sternum's coming forward. And I'm going to go and have my hands in the center as well. My hands are just flat here, guys. I know, I'm sorry if you can't see too well. My hands are just on my mat. Trying to keep the spine nice and straight here, okay? So, I might widen my stance a bit. I might use cushions, I might use a chair, I might use a stool. If you need to keep the back straight, that's absolutely fine. And then we're just going to practice bringing the head down a little bit. But again, trying to keep that spine straight. So if you notice that you're hunching over, better to lift, okay? Really lengthening that spine. If you want to, and you have an inversion practice, you might even want to put the crown of your head on the floor. But I would for now. You can bend the elbows as well, guys, if that helps. And if you want to explore some variations of this posture, check out my vinyasa flow, which I'll be uploading over the next couple of days, because I'm going to do a few different variations of a forward fold like this, just to show you how you can play around with it. But for now, closing the eyes, coming onto the elbows if that feels good. Closing the eyes. Muladhara Chakra, the Root Chakra. Feeling grounded. I am safe. I am. In the gross physical body, it's at the level of the perineum. Thinking about earth. Really grounding down with the soles of those feet, feeling those roots almost. Wiggle the feet in, bringing the hands to the hips so we can come up to standing, and then just closing the eyes, having a little bit of an awareness phase. Obviously I know my little yoga company is called The Space Between, but it's also, when you think about it, the space in between, a space in between those postures, okay, the space in between the asanas, the space in between the meditation and the flow, okay? You're finding that little sense of stillness within each posture, and then in those little areas of sort of perception that you have in between the postures, especially in the Hatha class, because it's still very still, you're kind of finding that little space between, and you're kind of just finding that little bit of calm, really, okay? Having a breath, having a little bit more space, and then hopefully bringing that into your daily lives. Okay. See, I did think about the name. I promise. So next we're going to come into one of my favourite positions, which is the yogi squat. So you might want to play around with the width of the feet here. You might want to place the hands and just play with one foot at a time. You might want to rock it out a little bit from side to side. And every time I'm inhaling, I'm straightening my spine, and every time I exhale, I'm just gently pushing at the flesh underneath my knees. Me with my elbows. Maybe closing the eyes. I'm really feeling rooted in this chakra, feeling nice and grounded, both in the feet and also at the level of the perineum. Colour is red. Element is earth. This reminds me of living in Korea and seeing the ajamas, the elderly ladies, just chilling out like this at the side of the road, selling vegetables and root vegetables as well. So it kind of reminds me of sort of ancestry roots in terms of people, but it also reminds me of like Mother Nature and Earth in terms of when I think about the food they sell. It just conjures up this this nice image for me. Trying to find that stillness. Good, now when you're ready, just releasing the hands, maybe rolling out the wrists. Still plant the hands, and slowly lift the tailbone. Just come up to standing. Okay. Closing the eyes, just noticing how the body feels, where the mind is at. Just checking in. Okay. We're going to do a little bit of Vrikasana, which we've done in our Ajna Chakra videos. Instead of bringing the attention to the level of the third eye, we're going to bring the attention to the feet. Okay, having the feet hip width apart, spreading those toes, getting a nice sense of grounding. Okay, so our foundations are really key. Yeah, if we have wobbly foundations for a house, we're not going to have a stable house. And the same kind of goes for our body. And the more stable we can feel in our body, the more stable our mind. And also vice versa. You'll find if you've had a really busy day or some crazy stuff's going on in your head, you'll probably find balancing postures a really great mirror to what's going on inside the body, because it will really pick up areas of tension and also areas of kind of stress or mindlessness in the mind as well. So we're going to spread out on the left foot. We're going to bring the heel of the right foot to the left ankle. Bring the hands to the hips, squaring the hips. Remember, we're not trying to follow the hips out, following the knee. We're just trying to allow the hips to be squared, allow the knee to fall where it may. And if you want to, you can do different varieties of tree. I would actually stay like this. Feel that grounding. Maybe bringing the hands to heart center now. And then closing the eyes. Focusing on the idea of roots, grounding down. Barefoot in the earth. Extra brownie points if you are barefoot in the earth right now. Color is red. The root chakra. Rolling up nice and tall, staying grounded. Allowing the weight to calibrate in the feet. You can micro bend the standing foot a bit, trying to avoid locking the knees. Okay, gently opening the eyes and slowly release. Okay, maybe keeping the eyes closed or closing the eyes. Noticing how the mind and body feel. And this is a polar asana, so we're going to repeat it on the other side. So we're going to spread the right toes, and we're going to bring the left heel to the right ankle, and we're going to square those hips a little bit. Allow the knee to fall where it may. Doesn't matter if your knee's not open. If you've got quite closed hips, it doesn't matter. Okay, rolling those shoulders back, drawing the spine up, bringing the hand to heart center. You can keep the eyes open and have a drishti point, a focus point, or closing the eyes. Really embodying that tree now, guys, as well. Playing around with it a little bit if you like. Nice deep roots from the feet. A nice strong sturdy trunk. Maybe you got some beautiful leaves going on as well. It's autumn time here, so maybe you got some nice colourful leaves. Maybe they're shedding. Kind of imagine letting stuff go that you don't need. If any thoughts pop up, that's fine, just let them go. Practicing, maybe with a smile as well, because it's not all serious. What is a quote I read the other day? I think it says something like, thoughts are just visitors passing through the mind. I quite like that one. Element of earth, root chakra, colour is red. Good, slowly releasing, keep those eyes closed, noticing any difference. Maybe there's a difference between the right and left side, that's fine. That is a posture I really used to struggle with, and I used to get so frustrated, especially when I was in a class and someone was wobbling in front of me. And I decided when I was doing my home practice, when I wobbled and fell out of it, I forced myself to laugh. And now when I'm in that posture and I naturally fall out of it, especially if I'm in a class, especially if I'm teaching, if I'm trying to guide people through it, talking at the same time, maybe someone's wobbling in front of me, I'm all over the place. So I really just practiced kind of laughing, almost forcing myself to laugh when I fell out of it. And now when I do fall out of it, I just naturally laugh. And I think it's really important to kind of flip your perspective and have some play with it. Yeah, yoga's not all serious. You need to be able to have a little playtime with it, and come at it with not necessarily an expectation, but with an attitude of playfulness. I have a whole video, I think, on DIY kind of yoga props, but also an attitude that you can take. I'll leave that in the description box if you want to have a little watch. But definitely helps, especially when your mind is all over the place. Okay, so let's see. I think I just wanna, let's just finish with this last one. So let's go down into a little squat. Why not? I'm actually gonna turn to the side. So yeah, come to like the center of your mat. Bring it nice and down. Maybe nice and slow. Actually, let's do it quite nice and slow. Into our yogi squat. Feel a bit like a sumo wrestler doing this. Alright, reaching forwards, and then slowly the bum comes to your earth/mat. I'm going to stretch the feet out in front of us. I'm going to show you my lovely scarf. You can use a strap, you can use a dressing gown robe, whatever you got. I've got a scarf. You're going to flex the feet. You don't have to use a scarf, guys, if you're feeling nice and open in the legs. You don't have to. It's just if you have tight hammies or whatever, you can use a scarf. Alright, we're going to flex the feet, okay, very important, flexing the feet for this one. And we're going to lift, let's lift our chest forward. Back is going to be nice and straight. And if you're not using a scarf, you're going to go up and over. And voila. If you're using a scarf, you're just finding the space. And then even if you've come up and over, even if you think you've found all the space you have in your body, there's always a little bit more to be found. I guarantee it. So, we're going to lift up and over. And every time I'm inhaling, I'm straightening my spine, lengthening. And every time I exhale, I'm finding a little bit more space. Even guys, even if you're up here, it really doesn't matter. Everyone is different. Respect where your body is now, and you can work with it as a tool. It should be helping you, aiding you. You're not trying to force it into shapes it doesn't want to throw, okay? This is our forward fold. And just gently sucking the belly button towards the back of the spine. Grounding down with the sit bones. Color is red. Muladhara Chakra, root chakra, the area of the perineum. Maybe imagining all along the base of the legs. There's wonderful roots. Going a little bit deeper with every breath. Element of earth. Trying to find a little bit more space every time. Slowly coming up, keeping the eyes closed. Allow the hands to relax, allow the feet to relax. Noticing any fluctuations in the mind or body. Bringing the hands to heart center. I'm going to have a little bit of a shavasana next, guys, but before that I just wanted to say thank you so much for practicing with me today. I love sharing my ideas with you guys. If you have any comments, you can always leave them below. I love to kind of build up this as a little community space, so don't be shy. Give yourselves a little thank you as well for taking some time out today. And yeah, namaste. I'm just going to allow the feet to come to each corner of the mat. We're just going to come down, maybe lifting the shoulders, wiggling the shoulders, allowing the hands and arms to be quite open here. If you have a willing partner in crime, you can always get them to give you a little head massage. That's what I do in my classes. I do like a nice little head massage at the end. I just got to find someone to give me a head massage now. And closing the eyes. And just lying here for at least 5 minutes. A little bit longer if you can. And Shavasana is just allowing us to settle all the energy that we've just been playing with. Feeling nice and grounded, nice and safe, content. Maybe using a blanket if you like. Or a nice snuggly jumper. Again, trying to allow the thoughts to pass with a smile. Focusing on the breath. If you want to, you could almost radiate a red light throughout the whole of the body, starting from Muladhara Chakra, if that felt nice. And you could repeat a little affirmation like I am or I am safe. Thank you for practicing with me today.